it's not free completely. What we're trying to do is actually work with local surveyors like yourselves, evaluators, to actually partner to do the scans of the properties. Then we have our software that begins to count everything or all the assets that you guys have, right, in that property. And there's like then a monthly payment that is being that has to be paid for the maintaining this information online.
Okay. All right. So, but if I may ask, I don't know if I'm asking this question for someone now. Before I start making payments, is there any period where I can demonstrate for maybe a month thereabouts before I start making payments?
Well, yes and no. Depends on the client, of course, and the potential of their portfolio. We would like to try to make a demo depending on how big the company is. We usually do a demo day where we do a small property of the client, where we actually do a demo that he can then pass this information to their operation, their maintenance team, and see how they work with it. And then from there on, then we do we have an implementation cost that is actually the counting of all this stuff, basically of every single light bulb, every single floor, desk, chair. It's an implementation cost, and then of course we have the subscription.
All right. So that means, but I believe you don't need to physically inspect the client's project for you to get all this information.
We do need to actually take the pictures. That's how we start. So we do need a foot on the ground, like if you want to say like that. That is the one that actually does this kind of modeling. Let's go here to the lobby. So actually, what the technology that we use, Matterport, it's a scanning picture system, right? So we do need to go into the property and take these pictures in order for us to know exactly how the property is. So what we do is with our camera, I'm going to try to see if you see it there. No, it's perfectly behind us. With our camera, we go there and then we take all the different pictures, and then we take these pictures into our system that we have already, let's say, an artificial intelligence that helps us count and put these dots of all the different light bulbs, all the different desks, chairs, all the different assets that we begin to see. So here, that's how we work in conjunction with evaluators, because they are the ones who know, okay, how much a light bulb is, how much a chair is. And this actually, I don't know in Nigeria, but in Colombia, companies need to do surveys of their assets every 2 years to give to the tax, to the IRS, let's say, or to the tax agency, right? And this is how a digital twin begins to join all this information so they only not count, let's say, the big things, but they now begin to count the little things too, that at the end they begin to mount on to a lot of money.
Awesome. Does anyone have any question? Yes, Mr. Shi.
Good afternoon. So the question I wanted to ask was, how long would it take you to do this for a building? Like, because the work is immense from what I understand about the technology. Mm-hmm. So if I have an hotel now, how long, let's say 7 floors, how long is it going to take him to map out the buildings and get the fixtures and everything into the software?
We can do around between 1,000 to 2,000 square meters every day in scanning, and then for digitalization that takes around 3 days. So total of, let's say, 4 days to do 1,000 to 2,000 square meters. Then depending on the range of the building and how big the building is, then it takes a little bit more time. But of course, what we do is we overlap. So we have the team scanning and then the team digitizing at the same time. So we can actually do very easily. So let's say an hotel like this, 250 rooms, this is 15,000 square meters. This takes around 20 days.
How many days?
20.
20 days. All right. All right. Thank you so much, Andre. Any other question? All right. I know it was difficult hearing him, but we'll work on the audio for us next speaker. Andrew, I really want to appreciate you. Thank you for waking up so early to be part of this.
Otherwise,
I'm really grateful. All right. And I'm sure when one or two people contact me, I will share your details in case they want to do anything. Thank you very much. All right.
thank you,
On that
guys.
note, while Andre was making his presentation, our second vice president walked in, and I want to also appreciate him. He's our coordinating officer, and I'll give the mic to him to give us a brief remark before we go to we should finish. All right, thank you so much. All right, thank you, my second vice. And okay, please let me also recognize my first vice president. He's somewhere there doing some mentoring works there. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. All right, all right. Next, I would like to call on Mr. Charles. He's the representative of Live Van by Construct. Thank you very much. He will be demonstrating their software to us as well. Yes, please. Yeah, if you want them to connect, yes. Okay.
So that we can see.
Ahmed.
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. All protocol observed. My name is Charles Assam. I'm the product manager for Construct. I'm here on behalf of my co-founders, Mr. John Oamen and Mr. Tayo Donsi. They are not here today, so I'm here to represent them. I'm the product manager of Construct. The name Construct is gotten from cutting construction costs. Please, can you expand it? Excuse me. Can we expand it? Yes, thank you very much. So I'm going to be very brief and try to go as quickly as possible. The name of the company is Construct, Cutting Construction Costs. The name of our product is LiveN. So I'm going to be speaking about LiveN. First of all, the company was founded in 2019. We went live with this product LiveN in November 2022. The idea behind it is very simple. We are trying to cut construction go around. We have a platform that serves for buyers. We have a platform that serves, one platform that serves for buyers, for vendors, and sponsors. So the idea behind it is that we have a platform that buyers can come, negotiate price. We watch your product live from beginning to end, from the stage of raising an RFQ. We have vendors, over 600 vendors on the platform. We have over 400 plus buyers on the platform. So a buyer comes on the platform, raises an RFQ, we watch the whole process. It goes through, either it goes through these whole vendors, or you can go through your selected vendors, and then you get a quoting for it. Once you get a quoting for it, you bid, there's a bidding process. You bid for whatever RFQ you raise. So for whatever project, you can have multiple projects on the platform. So when you go through the platform, you raise an RFQ, it goes to our pool of vendors, they raise a quote for you, you receive the quote, payment is made. So we have an escrow partner who holds this payment from the buyer to ensure that when this payment is made, the buyer is safe, the vendor now can go and make delivery. Once delivery is made, we confirm from the buyer that the quality and the quantity of the items requested for has been met. Once that is met, then payment is made to the vendor. So this is the platform, liven.com. Once you come on the platform, we have a list of the brand partners we have, and we have a little caveat for you. So here you can go through items. We have a list of items in real time. So you can go through any of the items, select an item, and get the pricing for that item in real time, regardless of your location. Again, we're a growing brand, so we have incremental changes to the product we have. But for now, we have just a list of items. Once you check that, you can get any price of any item in real time. Sorry, my internet is lagging a little bit, but I would like to demo that before we go into the product proper. While that's still going on, let me jump into the product. So it's very simple. It's a very simple process. We do not charge anything for the buyer. Once you come to our landing page, internet, I would like to demo how you log in and what the product looks like. But Nigeria internet is interfering with me. Please bear with me. Please bear with me. Anyway, so once you log in as a buyer, yes, once you log in as a buyer, you have this dashboard as a buyer. And then, like I said, it is totally free to sign up as a buyer. We are not getting any money from you. Once you log in as a buyer, you have this dashboard that shows you your overall budget for all your projects. So you can work with us based on a project or a multiple project. So this dashboard shows you your overall budget. It also shows you so far on all your projects, this is how much you have spent so far, which is your overall spend, and also shows you your margin. So it shows you more of like your budget and your actual spend, because what you budgeted for, like we know how the economy is, the prices of things escalate. So it shows you what your budget was, what you have spent, and then your overall margin to show you if you're making profit or a loss. Further down on your dashboard, you also have a breakdown in terms of items and costing. Like I said, all of this is real time. This is your budgets versus actual spend. You also have a contract statistics that shows you how many projects you're working on, how many projects have been completed so far, how many projects are still in progress. Further down, it shows you all the contractors you have worked with. Your recent contract shows you your previous suppliers. On the tab on the left, it shows you your profile, so that as much as you are seeing the vendor also sees who, because transparency is very important for us. So you have an opportunity to display your details. You can sign up as a buyer. You can either sign up as an individual or you can sign up as an organization. So the vendor knows who he's dealing with as much as you know who you're dealing with as a vendor. This tab just displays all of that information. Really importantly, I will really quickly go through your RFQ. So for a particular project, you can raise an RFQ, like I said, and then share this RFQ either with the pool of vendors we have or your selected vendors. Once you get here, you just quickly create a project. For emphasis of this test, I'll just create a quick test project. Say, banquet hall renovation, for example. Sorry. Real quick. So this is the project that we're going to be working on for emphasis of this demo. Once this project has been created, you get to create an RFQ. Say we want to renovate the first floor. So the RFQ would probably be for renovation of first floor, as an example. Once that is created, it gives you this list where you get to select the items you want. And we have a list of over 20 categories and over 200 items, which we update the prices on a daily basis. So you can come here and then say, for example, I want to get the quote for cement. You can choose the cement you want. You can also include the description. So for example, for purpose of this, I want Lafarge, for example. Now I'm not promoting any brand. And then you can specify the quantity of the cement you want. Again, for this instance, I'll just use maybe 100 bags of cement. Again, to point out, so we deal in bulk processes. Of course, you can still order 1 or 2 items. You get to select the metrics you want. For cement is bags, and then you can either impute a budget for each of these items, or you can leave it. So for this item, I would put maybe 100,000, for example, now. So I can either choose to add extra rows for all of these items, or I can just publish this. However, I would choose a quote deadline. So while I'm sending this quote, this request for quotes to the vendors, I give them a timeline when I want these quotes to be delivered. For example, I can say maybe by weekend. So we can choose 24th of June. I want all these quotes to be submitted by that time. I choose an expected delivery date for all these items so that when I'm negotiating, I'm not only negotiating based on price, I'm also negotiating based on delivery time. So I can, for purpose of this demo, I can choose 8th, enter my delivery address, Bodilon, and then enter description. So to help the vendor know better, I can include a description of, say, for example, when you get to the location, this is the landmark you need to look out for. This is the landmark you need to look out for. This and this is call so and so person once you do that. Then we have different payment terms. So you can either pay by escrow, which I mentioned earlier. You can pay by financing. You can pay by pay now, pay later. Once you click on publish a quote, once you click on that, it displays all the items. Now you can either choose to upload a supporting document, say your LPO or whatever documents, pictures for quality of the items. You can choose to do that and you click on confirm publish. Once this is done, the RFQ goes straight to the vendor. The vendors, like I said, we have over 400 vendors. The vendors go through it and then send you a quote for it. Once the quote is sent, you check by price, you check by quantity and by time. Once you're satisfied with that, then you accept the bid and send the contract to the vendor. Once the contract is signed, then payment is made to the escrow partner. So we hold to justify that the buyer is not going to run when delivery is made. So we hold that and then ensure that once vendor makes the delivery, so the vendor's part now comes up where the vendor gets to deliver the items. You can also see on our platform when the item is being processed, when the item is delivered. And then once that is done, as a buyer, you get to confirm, first of all, that the items delivered gets to meet your quantity and your quality before payment is made to the vendor. I wish I had more time, but in a nutshell, I bring to you LiveEnd, which is a platform that brings together buyers, vendors, and sponsors. Thank you very much for your time. I entertain questions.
Thank you so much. You've done so much within that short period. I'm sure there will still be a bigger platform for us to demonstrate this. Do we have questions? Developers in the house, do you have questions? Yes. Online, if you have a question, please, you can type your question so that we can attend to it.
Thank you. My name is Niesv Raimi Ismail. My question is, how long have you been in this business? 2, do you have a physical office? That's my question.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So like I tried to state, the company was established in 2019. This product LiveEnd was published in November 2022. That's when this product came live. And then we have been gathering information on items and prices since 2019. So to answer your question, yes, we have been in the business since 2019. However, my co-founders have been in the construction industry for about a decade between both of them. So to answer your question, both of them have a world of knowledge for, say, 2 decades between them. The company was founded in 2019. Do we have a physical office? Yes, we do. I can share the address with you.
All right, let me just help him. One of their co-founders is one of us, is Estate Survey and Valua, Tayo Odunsi. And so they have the experience and they know what they're doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you. My name is Lawa Shamsuddin Adeyemi. Yes, Lawa. Okay, my question is that for this to work as a professional in the real estate industry, it actually means that your vendors, your contractors also must be on this platform. Or otherwise, those that are not there, how do you integrate them? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. That's a very valid question. So like I said, so far, we have over 600 vendors on the platform so far. However, we are not requested, we are not caught up by that. So as a buyer, you can decide that this and XYZ are my vendors who I usually would work with. we can imbibe them on the platform. So you can decide that for transparency, these are the people I have been working for. But for transparency, you can bring them on the platform. However, so far we have over 600 vendors and counting on the platform.
All right. So if you are into material provision, supply, buying and selling, please, you can contact them. Any other question? Any other question? All right. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Charles. We really appreciate this. Quickly, we have the founder of Estate Intel online, and he will quickly give us his presentation, Mr. Dolapo Omidire. Are you online? Can you hear us?
Hi, good afternoon. Yes, I can.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Dolapo. All right. If you want to share your screen, you can go ahead, and you have just 15 minutes, and then we'll have question and answers. Thank you, Dolapo.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Very, very happy to be here. My name is Dolapo Omidire, and I'm the founder of Estate Intel. If you haven't seen Estate Intel before, essentially we are a market intelligence platform for the real estate and construction space. And we cover data for hundreds of buildings across the continent, tracking things like historic rentals, historic sale prices, vacancy rates, to help our customers who are agents and developers understand the real estate market a lot better. I'm going to be demoing a particular segment of our platform, and I'll keep it really brief so that we can maybe ask any questions that might be there. And then after that, I might just breeze through some of the other things that we do on Estate Intel. But to start with, I'm sure, of course, we have lots of valuers in the house. And one of the major problems that we see with valuation, the valuation process, is access to data. When you want to write an FMV report, you want to conduct evaluation, that historic information is not available. And you're calling a friend, calling somebody, trying to check through a WhatsApp chat to get the data that you need. We have developed something to make this really easy. So I'm going to share my screen very quickly, and then we're just going to walk through how Estate Intel is helping people solve this problem. So just give me a moment. I believe you can see my screen. One moment. Yeah. Okay. So as I mentioned, we're a data platform, and on Estate Intel, we track multiple things: ongoing projects, a database of about 6,000 companies in the real estate industry to understand what they do, whether it's agents, developers, contractors. But the main thing I want to talk about is our comparable data set. Now, if you are doing evaluation, what we have created here is a database of about 2,000 transactions. So this is not the asking rent for a property. This is the actual rate somebody paid for purchasing a property. Somebody paid for an office rent in a building in any of the markets that we cover, and all these small details that are also involved in that. So I'm just going to do a quick example, and I think I'll keep it really simple. If I click, let's do Victoria Island. I think everybody, Victoria Island in Lagos. We have 49 comparables there at the moment online, but we still have quite a lot offline. We have 4 sales transactions and 45 lease comps. And then we have 44 comparables for the office segment. So let's imagine that we're valuing an office now. So I've searched for office leases, office lease transactions, so that we can get comparables, so we can do evaluation. Right now, we can see Victoria Mall Plaza, which is the building that KPMG is in. They rented 200 square meters for about 73,000 naira in 2023. This is an actual transaction that happened. And we can see the specification of the building. If you want to find more about the building, we can just open it up on the Estate Intel platform. And we go and see, VMP2. We go and see everything we need to know about the property. So you can see this is VMP2. This is the property that somebody just leased about 200 square meters for about 73,000 naira. You see the information on who the developer is, the size of the property, the date it was added to our database, the grade of the property, even the completion date, January 2013, as well as other information on pricing and so on and so forth. So you come back here and we can also toggle. Some of these buildings in Lagos, they charge in US dollars. So you can toggle and see that in dollars, and you can see, let me just find a USD priced building. These are some older transactions here. The Standard Bank headquarters, somebody rented 160 square meters and paid $600 back in 2017. So this gives you a sense. If we go back and let's change it up and let's do a residential property, we can see Liberty Court. Liberty Court is a luxury apartment in Victoria Island, and somebody paid just under 10 million. I suspect this discrepancy is because of FX, about 10 million naira for a 3-bed apartment there last year in 2022. So when you want to do your valuation, you are able to actually pull out real transactions and say, this is here, in this location, X person paid this amount, and this is the grade of the building. And when you're doing grade, we have a document that you can look through. Okay, if a property is classified as grade A, this is all the minimum standards. So you are also able to detail that very easily inside your property valuation. I'll go back again to the beginning of this process, but it's essentially just saying that you can do valuations, or you can do feasibility reports really, really easily. I'm going to try another one for residential in Ikoyi. I think we even have a couple in Yaba, and we can see these are actual transactions. Somebody paid about 9 million for a 3-bed in 2022. Let's try and let me look for another location so that it's not. We have one company, Yaba, at the moment for a sale property. And this is for M14 apartments. This was a 2-bed and it sold for 42 million last year. So we have comps in different locations and in different cities within Abuja, within Lagos, within Port Harcourt. Some of them are offline. So when our clients ask us, we can also prioritize and upload, because we are doing a process to bring everything online. So that's the main thing that I wanted to show. I'll still show other parts of Estate Intel so that you can have a good understanding of what it is that we do. But one of the most important things that we have identified in the real estate space is the lack of data. So we're trying to use our data to help valuers, help construction professionals, help anybody within the space do work better and faster. The other thing I'll just quickly show you is our interactive dashboards. Excuse me, and right now we have about 156. I'm going to see if I can pick somewhere that is not super prime, maybe somewhere on the mainland. If we do, let me do Yaba. It's not pulling up. Okay, hold on. Let me residential. Okay, there we go. Just one moment while it loads. Okay, I'll do this faster. I'll just type it directly into the browser. Okay, so this is what I've gotten over here is the Ikoyi market report. While the other ones are loading, Yaba is also loading here, so we'll have a look at that afterwards. But essentially what you see here is a description of everything that we have inside our database. You can see what the market size is. We're tracking about 6,000 residential units in Ikoyi. There is the annual rental yield is about 5.77%. The average price for a 4-bed, 3-bed, 2-bed over the past 5 years, average rent and sale price is detailed here. And we've also got the average growth rate. So you can see that the average 4-bed or 3-bed apartment in Ikoyi is going for between 13 and 16 million naira. Of course, some of these properties are priced in USD, so you can also switch that and look at it in dollar terms. If you zoom in over here, you see all the properties that we're currently tracking within Ikoyi, quite a few of them scattered across the space. But this is an example of what we have in our database. You can see Yaba as well. We're tracking the historic rents. Yield in Yaba is slightly higher. We're seeing 6.26%. But these are the data points that will make research and just general work in the real estate space more efficient and much better. I will briefly just show you the directory, which is a good expression of the companies who are working in the space. And I'll show you a sample property. So we can see if you want to search for good professionals who know how to do construction, design, agency, this is an example of one. So we can see ITB is one of the major construction companies in the country. And you can track here, right now they have 26 projects. You see that 9 of their ongoing projects, these are the ones that are still, that they're on the ground building, trying to do. The completed projects they've worked on in the past. And if you are looking to sell a product, I want to sell my engineering services, or I want to send a proposal to this person, we also have a section called people. So you can see this is the MD, this is a quantity surveyor there, and this is an architect. If you click this button here, it takes you directly into their LinkedIn. So you are able to go and send them a message and do business development however you would like to do that. Finally, which of course is even the most important part of the platform, is the actual projects and properties that we are tracking. Now, I want to open up a very nice and detailed project, and I think our typical go-to is Heritage Place. But I will also, maybe I'll do M21 in Yaba too. Let's do Prindex. Prindex Properties has quite a lot of property. So over here, you can see a standard property page. Okay, I already showed one when I was looking at the other projects, but we detail all the information. So who is the developer? Who is the JV developer? Which agent is working on it? Who is the facility manager? Who is the architect, structural engineer, MEP? All of them are listed here. The completion dates, the exact size of the building, number of floors, how big a floor plate is, historic occupancy rates inside that location, and so much more information. I don't want to bore everybody, but we have a very robust and rich data set, and we're working with surveyors at the moment, and we'd really like to get more and more people using the platform and just making smarter decisions. That is it from me. I would love to take any questions that anybody might have. Hello? Hello?
Mr. Gwenga Ebenezer, can you hear me? Dolapo, can you hear me, please?
Okay, yes, I can.
All right, okay. So I was asking, just on a lighter note, do you pay estate surveyors or any company that render any information to you?
Yes, we have an exchange program is what I'll say. So if you have information and you actually also need data, you might not need to subscribe. So we can exchange the information and that can also just help you get access to the data. If there is a company with large access to info, we usually look to do things like partnerships, but that's usually in markets where we have no information, like we're going into a new country, we'll look for a partner. But in Nigeria, I think we have a lot of relationships, but I think our door is open for business.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Niesv Shamsuddin Adeyemi.
Good afternoon.
It's on.
Thank you, Mr. Dolapo. This is a wonderful model. However, my question is an assessor surveyor and valuer who manages property and have some of this information for you. Information and data is very key in real estate. However, I think the moderator has done a wonderful job by asking that question that we can actually trade information and maybe for some investment. Now the question is, if I am managing heritage building in Ikoyi, having done with that transaction, how do I revalidate if I'm giving the wings to manage? Do I come to you for revalidating, or is a form of subscription? Do you have key or license to a software that you sell to me?
Okay, so the way it works is depending on the type of subscription you do, what you get access to is the platform. So by the time you pay a subscription fee, if you pay for Pro, which is what we do for surveyors, that's actually 50K a month, and you get access to quite a few comparables, up to 3 for every search that you look for. Once that subscription is off, you would need to renew again. But wherever, even if you change jobs, if you're managing one asset or another, you can continue accessing it for that full year. For a different premium subscription, which is a little more expensive and the pricing is a little more customized, what usually happens is we give you up to 5 email addresses. So 5 people in your company can access that. But as soon as anybody leaves that company, that email address is canceled and you have to replace it with another. So those are the two differences. I hope that answers that question.
Yes. Another question, please. All right. Thank you so much, Dolakbo. Whoever wants to link you up, I would share your details with them. I wanted to ask for you, but he's on LinkedIn. You can just look for Estate Intel on LinkedIn and connect with him. All right. We actually had, we were expecting rent small and split, but we won't be having them here today. And the last company that I'll be presenting today is Blocks VR. They are here physically, and I would like to call on it's a company that was started by 3 architects, and they are doing so well. I would just want them to give us a demonstration of what their software is about. Please let me appreciate them.
Let me read back. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's fine. Good afternoon, everybody. Oluwaseun Wayenuru, and this is Ibiye Damlola and Olamipo Akini. We're all architects, and we're privileged to be in your midst. Thank you for having us. So basically, we founded a company, a VR company called Blocks VR last year, 2022. And basically what Blocks VR does is we're a VR company that builds virtual reality experiences for different sectors. Currently, we've built for the construction industry and the education industry because that's where we were brought up, all architects, like I mentioned. Blocks VR for the education, for the construction industry. Okay, let me just say a little bit about VR first. VR basically is virtual reality, and what it does is try to export people from this natural world with the VR headset into an immersive world. So as opposed to images and text, when you're trying to educate people or tell people about certain things, you can then import them into the environment so that you can see it and experience it more immersively. Case in point, I don't know how many people here use Google Maps. There's a difference when you see it from the top and when you click the street view and you go into it. So now you can imagine if you were actually standing in that place and being able to see the street view while moving around. That is basically how VR works. And that's what we're able to accomplish with 2 sectors currently, the construction industry and the education industry. My partner is going to play a construction video for us now. And yes, so for this project, we're trying to show the construction life cycle because, like I said, we actually started with the education aspect. So we're trying to show the construction life cycle of the project. That's from the foundation level to the completion, the total completion. So, like I said, this is in VR. Now it is a video, so you might not be able to really appreciate it. But if you look at Ola there, the person that was using this was basically immersed in. Ola, could you move forward, please? Yeah. So basically, you are going to be immersed in this environment, and when you're looking around, so it's not going to be flat like this. That's the power of VR. And so, like I was saying, you can see the different life cycles of the building and you can interact with different percentages. This is arbitrary, by the way. It's not the exact. I'm sure we are very conversant with the built industry. It's not the exact 75%, but it's just for purposes of education. You can also interact with the model. And because in the construction industry, before we were doing renders and all, what we did was actually to build the physical models so we could interact with the construction and what we are expecting the building to look like at the end of the day. Yeah, you're able to interact with the building to see it, the miniature level, and also the, okay, you can't see it up now, but the actual building up there also moves with the construction life cycle. Please go forward in the video. You could also move around into the video to interact with the building. So I don't know how many of us were able to meet the first speaker where it was moving around. Yeah, so instead of just seeing like Google Street View, you have the power of being inside the building yourself and moving around. So this is still the construction phase. So the finishes are not all there, but yeah, you can develop the building in such a way that the finishes are there, the chairs, the couches and everything, whatnot. Go to the end where you, yeah. So even while in the building, you can still manipulate it. And this is all in VR. So you are able to experience it at a more personal level. Thank you. Ola is going to demo another sector we worked on, which is the construction, the teaching in the education industry. Have you set up the, okay. Move forward so that you can see. Where do you set up the thing? Okay, so that's good. There's the part. Because let's try it again. Try it. Nope. No pressure, Stay as fast as just a moment, please. Okay, it's working now. Working now. Yeah. Okay. So this is the second project we worked on for education in the construction industry. Basically, we're talking about we're doing reinforcement and concrete. It is meant to teach people about reinforcement and concrete and the formwork. So basically what my partner is doing is setting up the formwork in VR. For the education aspect of VR, we learned that human beings generally learn better by doing things. And as opposed to just telling them, oh, this is how you do it, this is how you do it, and they have no idea till they actually get to site. With software and VR such as this, because you can see this thing is just portable, it's standalone, so you can have it in the classrooms. And the lecturer demonstrates it first, depending on what the lecturer wants to do, or he tells the student to demonstrate it. And by doing it, you have more experience on how to do it when you get to site. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was from. Sure. What do you want to talk about? It's working now. So talking about it. Medical study, I have sent you the form now. Okay, let's see. What then to do? No, what do you want to? What do you want to? Like I need this like over here. Okay. So like you can see, is assembling the formwork. And the experience is totally flexible. So basically what you want to demonstrate is what you program into the software. It's taking time. Yeah. So bracing the formwork. I'm trying not to move around too much. Hello. I think I can see it. So when it's done bracing the formwork, it's also going to mix the concrete and apply the mix ratio. Yeah, and you can see the concrete being poured into the formwork. Then when that's done, there's also a quiz section so that we can quiz the students on what they've actually learned with the software. Yes, this is quiz section. Currently it's a true or false set of questions where they just click either true or false. It quizzes them on how they set up the rebar, because like we know, questioning after a learning process helps people retain their memory, retain what they've learned. So if this was also a class session, this was it, like you can see, when even if there's just one headset in the class, it can also be projected for other students to follow along. Perhaps they have more than one headset, then multiple students can do it at the same time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. Do you have questions for them? Questions? Youngest surveyors and valuers. Okay, so my question to us will be that do we think we can actually use any of these technologies that we've presented to us in our practice? Do we think so? Okay, so I'd like someone to tell me which aspect of our practice can we use the first presentation, the Alpasa technology, the software. Please, someone should help me. Huh? Facility management. Sorry, you can speak up now. Listing an agency. Project management. All right. The second presentation by LifeVend by Construct. What can we use it for? Construction. All right. And also quality materials. Thank you very much. The third presentation, that's Estate Intel. Valuation. Property management agency. Thank you very much. And this last presentation, construction and also actually a property agency, because you can use it to inspect a property. So Sheon, one question for you. If a company has a property to let, for instance, and maybe their clients comes to their office and they don't need to go physically to the property, is this something you can develop and they can inspect the property right there and there at the office? How would you do that? How would that be?
Thank you very much. Yeah, sure, it can happen. But for that to happen, we all already have to have inspected the building and design it virtually in 3D space, because before buildings are even built out, they are designed. So if it was done through an architect, the design was done through an architect, we don't even have to go and design it from scratch, because the architect should still have the floor plans and the 3D data. Then we just implement it with our software and it's going to be in virtual reality space.
One other question. So for instance, if the person is not around, the person is maybe outside Nigeria, can they use their own VR headsets and inspect the property directly from your own website? They can do that. All right. Sorry. One last question.
My question is this. While you are demonstrating it practically right there, we could not see the mix, the quotation, the mix, how many cement, bag, stuff like that. For the mixing, it's not stated there.
Maybe because we're trying to rush because of time, but and also the clarity of the video. But if we send the video to him once again, you will see that on that mixer, the yellow thing was working. There are actually numbers there. That's why I was trying to drag it. So the aggregate, it was cement, aggregate, and sand. But because it wasn't really clear, you would have to know, like for columns, there's a certain aggregate mix ratio you have to use. For curbs, there are different mix ratios. So if you put a wrong aggregate mix ratio for the cement, it is not going to form. But since we develop it, we know and we're also architects, we know the exact mix ratio to use. But as a student, if you use the wrong mix ratio, it wasn't going to play through until you use the correct one.
All right, thank you so much. All right, on that note, media, please help me display the attendance. We are doing prop tech. Ahmed. And we need to show that we are tech savvy. So I want you to bring out your phone and please scan this barcode and please help us quickly fill the form. Do you have it? Where's Ebenezer? The barcode for attendance, please. All right, I want to appreciate all those that joined us online as well. While we work on that, I would like to invite our second vice president, the coordinating officer, to give us his remarks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Our first vice president, sir. We recognize your presence here and we appreciate your being here with us. The organizers and the leaders of the young estate surveyors and valuers wing of our institution. It is a great privilege for me to address up and coming members of our noble profession on the auspicious occasions of this workshop tagged Niesv's Prop Tech Demo Day, holding today, Tuesday, 20th June 2023. I would like to begin by welcoming our number one citizen, even though he's not here, our president, the first vice president, and all other senior estate surveyors and valuers that are here, including the management committee members. The initiative of our Young Estate Surveyors and Valuers Forum, ably led by Estate Surveyor and Valuer Ayodele Odeleye, to say the least, is highly commendable. The subject in focus, Niesv Prop Tech Demo Day, is not less commendable. PropTech or property technology is simply the applications of technology. The subject is timely and appropriate, considering the reality of today's world, which is becoming more and more technologically driven.
to register your attendance.
Please let all the women come forward for the next session.
Hello. Please, all women to come forward. We are about to start the women program. All women, please come forward. It's time for us to start our own program. Our time is very limited.
Women, please come forward. Come forward. We are waiting for you. Please come forward. It's your session now. Please, I don't want to see any woman at the back. Please come forward. Please, all the women, please move forward. It's our time. Please, women, come forward and occupy these spaces. I'm seeing beautiful, lovely women. Wow, you are looking gorgeous. Please come forward. Want to be seeing your face.
All the women,
All the beautiful women.
How
You are beautiful. You are adorable.
forward.
You are unique. You had to come by. Okay, someone is. Okay. All right.
Yes, yes, that's why we are trying to make them change.
Women, please come forward for the next session. Join. It's our session now. What are you doing here? Please move forward, move forward. Thank you. Move forward. Yes, I'm seeing the beautiful faces. This is beautiful. You look adorable.
Please let everywhere be calm. Let everywhere be calm, please.
Yes, as we are starting right away.
We are starting right away. Let everywhere be calm. It's already 2:30. And we are starting. Yes. It's all right, ma'am. Please, we are starting with an opening prayer. We are calling on our very good sister, supportive sister, a woman with the heart of gold, to give us an opening prayer in person of ESV Dr. Ethel Mandie. Please give us an opening prayer. Yes, you can see her.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for your faithfulness. We thank you for your mercies. We thank you for your ever-abiding presence. We thank you for bringing the women from different branches down to Ilorin today. We thank you for granting everyone that is here journey mercies. We thank you for the journey mercies you're going to grant unto every other woman and everyone who is coming to this conference. Father, we lift this program into your hands this morning, and we pray, oh Lord, that you alone shall be glorified in the name of Jesus. Father, let all honor, Glory and adoration be unto your name. In Jesus' name we have prayed.
Amen.
Man, thank you very much. Thank you.
We are going to recognize important personalities in our midst. We have Timba and Kaliba in our midst, and we must recognize them. We are recognizing our first vice president, a gentleman to the call, no other person but Niesv Victor Alonge.
Please, a round of applause for him. A round of applause. We are honored to have you here. Thanks for coming.
We are recognizing a very special person. This gentleman, a Malan, just look at his face. He will always smile. Even when he's not laughing, that face is a smiling what? A smiling face.
Oh my God.
Yes. I don't need to go his face.
Wow.
I must call him.
You have to.
And that is Niesv Malam Bature.
Bature, the second vice.
Yes.
Let's
A
put
round
our
of
hands together
applause.
for him.
That is the
So what
second
was
vice
second vice?
president.
President.
You are welcome. Thank you for
We
everything.
are honored to have you, sir.
Yes. And we are welcoming the committee members, national committee members. We are welcoming you. Please come and sit in the front. We are welcoming you.
This is a round of applause for them.
A round of applause.
A round of applause.
Please, according to the introduction of the mama of mamas, I must respect her. You know what she said? Please, you must recognize the chairman of this branch, our wonderful chairman, who has been very supportive. He has been very supportive. Who is that very person? Very resilient. In person of, oh, you mentioned
Niesv.
Yes.
Oyedepo Olalekan. Please, let's clap for him.
Niesv Oyedepo Olalekan.
You're welcome, sir.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Please come in front. You are the first, the number one person, as long as this Kwara Harmony branch is concerned, our number one person. Yes. We are now recognizing our very mama, our national mama, a woman of substance, the fellow of the institution. What a man can do, a woman can do it better. It's no other person but Niesv Bridget Oranye. Niesv Bridget Oranye. We love you. We love you. You are welcome, man. Okay. You know one thing? We are recognizing our own very mama. Our own very mama.
Yes,
Who has
Mrs.
been,
Iwa.
yes,
Put your hands together for her.
she has been very hardworking,
In Kwara branch.
always carrying us along.
Yes.
Niesv Deaconess.
Yes. And also in our midst, this opportunity to recognize this of Niesv Segun Fashikun, who is a fellow and immediate past chairman of Shu branch. Please put your hands together for him. Wow. Thanks for coming. We are honored to have you, sir.
Please, we are recognizing all the failures. You are welcome. You are welcome. We are recognizing all the national executive, the state executive. You are wonderful. Our time is not on our side. Just take it as it is. Okay? What are these resource persons? We have our two resource persons. Our two resource persons here present. ESV Akin Opatola and ESV Wenga Ismaili.
A round of applause. Please, where are you?
Chairman. They are going to feed us today.
Okay, they're at the back.
They are going to feed us today. And we are here. We are here because we want to hear from them.
Please, can you come forward, sir? Please, please, please. Can you come forward? Thank you, sirs.
Please, all the fellows should
Please,
come
they are
forward.
coming. Please, can we put our hands together for them?
Associate above 10 years, follow, you are welcome. Other members, please, you are welcome.
Wow.
God bless you all.
Thank you. In addition, I want to use this opportunity to recognize the presence of ESV Toyin Agbalaya, who is the former national treasurer. Please,
Wow.
wow. Please, wherever you are.
You can see them.
Oh, beautiful. Please put your
You
hands
can
together
see
for
them.
her. Beautiful. Oh, thanks for coming,
Yes.
Mr. Hannah.
You're welcome.
So we have, ESV Demola Alade, who's the immediate past chairman, Lagos branch. Is she here? Oh, she's here. Oh my God.
Wow. Man can do it better.
We are honored to have you in our midst.
Yes.
All right.
Our resource persons are seated. They are loaded. Look at them.
Thanks for coming, sir. We
Thank you.
welcome you. We welcome you again to Kwara State, our beautiful state. We hope you have been enjoying the state. I want a response. Okay, it's a very peaceful state. If you plan to
Yes.
relocate, our hands are wide open if you want to come and join us.
Yes. Harmony
So
State,
please, I want us to
peaceful
rise. It's time for the national anthem. Let's honor our dear country. Please, let's rise.
National anthem.
Thank you very much, Ken.
We don't have control over the light. There is no light. The conference one.
What do you say? What do you? Yeah. Chicken plate. What's about?
We are great. We are great. We are some value. We are great. We are tested. So there's some value.
Wow, a round of applause for our beautiful women. That was brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And I hope everybody enjoyed the anthem. Did we? Yes, thank you so much. Now to the National Women's Speech. Welcome ESV, Bridget Ndali, Ayafulu. Did I call you well? All right. A round of applause. Let's clap for her. Coordination. Let's clap for her, please. Let's clap for her. Thank you.
Good afternoon, noble colleagues and esteemed guests. I want to thank the first vice for making our time to be with us. I want to thank our coordinating minister, the second vice. I want to thank our speakers. Without you, today wouldn't have been possible. Thank you so much for accepting our invites at a short notice. I'm grateful. My chairman, I appreciate your support. I just called him, I said, my chairman, you can't abandon me.
And he said, what is that? I thank you for being here today. I want to thank all the management committee members, our own mother, ESV. To stand on the already established protocol. I want to thank God Almighty for keeping us all alive to be part of our institution's 53rd annual conference, tagged Harmony Conference. I also want to thank our speakers for accepting our invites at such a short notice. To all our members, those physically present, those online, I say a big welcome. I want to thank the Kwara State Chairman for giving our women the platform to fly.
Thank you.
I want to also to thank our Kwara State sisters, my friend, my sister, the Kwara State Coordinator, ESV, Bosegiwa. I also want to appreciate our National Treasurer, ESV Tola Ohameje. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you. The theme of this year's annual conference is asset valuation as a global anti-corruption tool, the Nigerian experience. David Cameron, a former British Prime Minister, said that the evil of corruption reaches into every corner of the world. It lies at the heart of the most urgent problems we face, from economic uncertainty to endemic poverty to ever-present threats of radicalization and extremism. Hence, the choice of our sub-team for this women's program, managing in uncertainty, shaping the future of our practice in this economic dispensation. Maxwell Maltz, a famous American surgeon and best-selling author who pioneered the genre now popular self-help book, said that a close scrutiny will show that most crisis situations are opportunities to either advance or stay where you are. I believe that our reason for being part of this program is because we all want to advance our practice. Why advance, you may ask? The Guardian newspaper of Monday, June 19th, 2023, page 6, informed us that electricity tariff is set to increase by 40% by 1st of July, 2023. We are likely to pay 88 naira per kilowatt for power consumption. Energy costs is most likely to rise by over 70% amidst unemployment, high poverty rates, insecurity, and dwindling purchasing power. Daily Post of May 9th, 2023 put the debt stock of Nigeria at over 80 trillion naira. Nigeria, they say, is in an emergency situation on the verge of collapse if nothing is done. World Bank was quoted as saying that Nigeria spent 95.3% of its revenue on debt servicing in 2022, which was objected by the then Minister of Finance, Budget and Fiscal Planning, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed. She pegged the figure at 80.6% of Nigerians' revenue in 2022. Debt stocks remains alarming, irrespective of the rate one adopts. 80.6% to service debts is something very high. The effect of the current fuel subsidy removal is glaring. The inflation rates, reduced economic welfare, reduced household income, just to mention but a few, are still unfolding. I cannot agree less with Abraham Lincoln, the 16th American president, who said, and I quote, "I'm a firm believer in the people. If given the truth, they can be depended upon to meet any national crisis. The great point is to bring them to the real facts." Today, we are privileged to have two top-notch gentlemen to give us the real facts. They are seasoned professionals in every ramification. They will give us the figures, put aside every emotions and sentiments, tell us our strengths, our weaknesses,
opportunities and threats, our SWOT analysis, that will guide us in overviewing or re-examining our policies and practice within the short time we have. Yes, they may not exhaust these contemporary topics within the limited time that they have, but their presentation will no doubt guide us to the right steps. We pray that they will oblige us with their time and wealth of experience again and again and again and again. Brandon Zah, please do answer us anytime we call upon you. ESV Akel Batala is my lecturer. So I know, sitting under his feet, I know what I've learned, which I also want our sisters to gain from. He's an international speaker. And then we'll see the Brandon Zah in action today, my own chairman. Thank you.
Wow, thank you.
Let us all take advantage of what we learned today to better ourselves and our practice. Welcome once again. Thank you.
Wow, a round of applause. Wow.
This is wonderful.
Thank you
It's
very
more than
much.
just a speech.
That was a very brilliant
Thank you. Thank you.
from ESV Bridget Ndali.
Yes.
I am
The
fully.
woman
Thank
of
you very much.
substance. Well loaded.
The second vice president's speech. That's next.
This
And
second
we
vice.
are welcoming to the podium, to the stage, our very own ESV, Malam Bature Mohammed. Please put your hands together for him.
Our coordinate.
For the second vice president's speech, your hands together.
Yes.
The faster you clap, the faster I call.
You can see what I'm saying. Is he not smiling?
Thank you very much. Our first vice president, sir. Other council members present. Our distinguished guests, our speakers. The chairman and members of the executive committee of the Women's Wing. Our distinguished noble colleagues. It is my honor to welcome all of you to this program and at this banquet hall. I also like to welcome most warmly our national leader of the Women's Wing, Mr. Savio and Valois Bridget, officers of the wing, and our women noble colleagues to this program. Let me start by thanking the president for bringing us together to celebrate the constellation of women leaders and members of our noble profession. We appreciate the essential role of these women of courage, ingenuity, vision, and achievement. We celebrate today our formidable women leaders committed to the development of the institution. They have demonstrated through your life, work, practices, and leadership that women make a difference. Not just a small difference, but a big and crucial one. We have become incredibly models for women and even men in the profession. An inspiration to those who aspire to become members. We have pushed the frontiers of women leadership and have paved the path for other women and girls to follow in their own footsteps and become future leaders. Esther Valois Bridget, your leadership and accomplishments are inspiration to leadership of the institution.
Oh, wonderful.
I applaud you for your passion for women empowerment. Thank you for breaking many ceilings for all women of our noble profession. I wish to reiterate the contribution of the women in helping to reposition the institution for the attainment of its objectives and goals, especially in this challenging time, and with the promise that such effort will not go unrewarded. History will be kind to all of you. You will also agree with me that while you have made some important strides, your work is far from finished. And this is why you must all keep working towards a better institution. I would like to close by advising you to continue to work with the president and the council of this institution. Seek counsel from all of them. I am sure we will always oblige you. On that note, I want to congratulate you for organizing the 2023 Women's Day program. And I wish you a fruitful and impacting outing. Thank you very much. And thank you for your commitment and passion to the success of the institution.
Thank you so much, our coordinating officer, Madam Batue.
A round of
Thank you
applause.
so much. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so
when he
much.
was giving his speech, that the women will be clapping. When he was busy
Thank you.
praising our mama, the general coordinator.
Right now, we're welcoming our first vice president for his speech, ESV Victor Alunge. Please put your hands
You're
together
welcome,
for him.
sir. You're welcome,
Put your
sir.
hands together for him. Yes.
A gentleman to the call.
My first vice.
Yes.
president.
Walking majestically.
The women are really giving the men
You're welcome.
a run for their influence in the institution. The first vice president, is I think I saw the HNT council members. Yes, HNT. Why are you sitting there? You are tired. Noble women. I think the coordinating officer has said it all. I think I also want to say that I enjoyed my time with you. And I'm sure Bature is already enjoying his time too. It's actually lovely to see that women have actually woken up to take their rightful position in the institution. Every organization that you see that is actually interested, that you see a lot of, what do I call it? A lot of progress. You must identify the role of women there. So women are key. And I think now that you are taking your,
thank you, sir.
Now that you are taking your role properly, we are going to see progress in our institution. I want to personally acknowledge Bridget's determination. You know, she's not a politician. And I remember she pressured me so much when I was coordinating this women wing. Okay, let's do election. Let's do it. I said, take it easy, don't worry. You understand the point? She's a professional. She's a very, very lovely woman. And I'm really pleased that you have done well with this women wing. I'm not sure but really, do we have a tenor for leaders of women wing? There could be a second term. I mean, there is a second term where it is left for the women to decide. But I think Bridget has done very well. And I want to thank you very much. The institution acknowledges your role. But let me also say, please, as we gather and discuss, women, please let us know what you see from your own point of view about the institution. It's not just, we come here, we enjoy ourselves, we gain from erudite lecturers that you bring. But more importantly, we want you to contribute to the progress of this institution. So you need to let us know what you are seeing, how you are seeing it, and what suggestion. Because don't forget in no distant time, we will have a woman president of the institution.
Amen.
We have had women chairmen. And we have ranking council members in the ESV. Agbalaya is there, always ranking in the council. You see? But we really need to harness your quality, your contribution, and we need to see that progression. So please, don't hold back. Whatever you quoted profusely from great men. And one thing about great men, what made them great is that when they faced challenges, they never gave up. And whatever you see that is a challenge within the institution, always know that the other side, there is opportunity there. I don't see problems. I see challenges, and I see from challenges opportunities. And that is what I want our women to also do. Please, we need your contribution. Don't sit back. Don't hold back. Don't say it is their problem. Nobody sits in a position for life. We are here today. I was second vice for 2 years. I moved up to first vice. The president is there. 2 years, he will move. Who knows whether it's Bridget's turn tomorrow, or Agbalaya, or even Lagos chair that has just left. So please, let us make sure that this institution belongs to all of us, and let's contribute constructively. And I'm happy that we have this level of commitment from our women. So on that note, I want to thank you for this opportunity. I'm not supposed to be talking, but you gave me the opportunity and I have spoken. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you, sir. We are so grateful, sir. Thank you for the kind and a good admonition. God bless you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I learned something from what he said. He said, as women, we have to contribute to the progress. He's making us to be aware that, look, he has listening ears, that let's see what you see. Let's feel what you feel.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now we are going to our lecture 1. And I'm seeing a very interesting topic here. I said, managing in uncertainty. Me, I'm eager to learn from the resource people here. Managing in uncertainty. That's a very good uncertainty. Yeah, sorry for uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
Sorry for that.
Managing in uncertainty.
Now, in a very, what's it called? A catching topic, and me, I'm eager to learn, because if you look at where we are now, things are happening. Now, I'd like to call forward Niesv Mokwelala Edu, one of our Kwara Women's Wing members, to read the citation of this speaker.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
The first vice president of the institution, Niesv Victor Alunge. The second vice, Niesv Patri Ali Mohammed. The national coordinator, Niesv Bridget Anyafulu. Another national executive present here. The state coordinator, Niesv Giwa, and all other protocols duly observed. Niesv Benga Ismail is the principal partner of Ismail and Partners. Niesv Benga Ismail is the principal partner of Ismail and Partners, one of the leading firms of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, with a tremendous wealth of knowledge and diverse experience in the real estate sector. He is an experienced director with a demonstrated history of working in the real estate industry. Skilled in sellers, working with landlords, business planning, real estate appraiser, and real estate developments. Strong professional with a Master of Science focused in property valuation and management from Sheffield Hallam University, UK. He is currently chairman of Lagos State of Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. Vice President, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Chairman, Valuation Business Association. He is currently an international board member on the board of directors, National Association of Rectors based in Chicago. Permit me to welcome ESV Benga Ismail. You're welcome, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. I want to first commend the Kwara Women's Wing for giving us that rendition. I thought it was a national wing. I didn't know it was from Kwara. So I would like to hear Lagos Women's Wing do the same thing.
Sorry.
Give me a rendition of their own anthem. Good afternoon, noble colleagues. First, Mr. Vice, you're welcome. Second Vice, Women Leader, National Leader, Council members, all recognized and all protocol duly observed. I'm here to speak on managing in uncertainty. But before I start, let us understand what uncertainty is. Something happened earlier on when the women were about to sing and the power went off. They didn't plan for that, but they needed to understand what to do. There was a little confusion there, but I'm very happy to see that they picked up on themselves and decided, let's keep singing. And that's one of the things that I'm going to talk about, adapting to your situation. So, dear noble ladies and colleagues, I was told that my address should be from the thought process of an economist and not that of an estate surveyor and valuer. However, what is not known to many is that the avatar of the estate surveyor and valuer is the applied economist. So whether we like it or not, we are all economists in application. So we indeed know what to do in circumstances that I will talk about. Let me thank the Women Wing for giving me this opportunity to speak to you all in the capacity as the chairman of the very branch. And it is you who have given me my first pedestal to showcase myself. Thank you. What is uncertainty? I'll start with COVID. COVID was the biggest shock in my existence. Having to shut down everything unexpectedly. There is nothing more shocking to the system when such situations hit you that you don't plan for. Losing my father unexpectedly was also a great shock, which also proved to be a disruption to my system when it wasn't planned. How do you cope when you're faced with such disruption? Uncertainty refers to a state of unpredictability and ambiguity, where the future outcomes are unknown or difficult to determine. It also refers to the ability to lead and make decisions effectively in an environment where information, outcomes, and conditions are uncertain or volatile. I want to take this again because there are key words I want us to take away from here. It refers to the ability, that's the first thing, the ability to lead and make decisions. Those are the things I want us to understand. In uncertain circumstances, you need to have that ability to lead and make the decision of what to do. So please let's not forget that. Today, our current economic reality calls for planning and strategy to overcome today's challenges. However, uncertainty comes in different ways. What happened just a few minutes ago is simple. We don't take it that anything happened there. But for many of us, there are many situations, business continuity situations, family situations that hit us when we least expect it. As I said, COVID was disruptive and has caused terminal and permanent disruptions for many people. I will focus today on uncertainty of all kinds and best practice to preparing for tomorrow, because today has indeed been planned. Great men, and indeed women, and businesses who endure change and question underlying deep-rooted assumptions are the ones that thrive in the future. So invariably, we are all faced with these circumstances. What we do is what makes the difference to all of us and separate us from those who thrive tomorrow and those who don't. So what are this image here is simply to just let us know a process. The process that starts with change. What happens when there's something uncertain? Because managing uncertainty is a process. It's a process, it's not an economic issue. Once I'm leaning towards economic uncertainty, but socioeconomic uncertainty is what we plan for. What happens to us when situations change on us when we least expect? First thing that you look to when a situation happens to you, share your challenges. Uncertainty is disruptive and a distraction. It is a real distraction. It is often advised that when faced with challenges, share it. You cannot keep it to yourself. You must learn from somebody who has experience, who probably has gone through something similar. You must bring out that situation. But it's not that you go and start telling everybody, this is what we're going through. This is what has happened. I go back and I refer to the COVID situation. Nobody in the world experienced COVID, at least in our own lifetime. The only reference we could go back to was 1928 or so. I remember when there was the plague, or there was some issue that happened 70 years back. But nobody could tell us what to do. The whole world shut down. At that point, even the developed countries that we always look to got confused. But everybody started exchanging information, collaborating. What was the best way to deal with these circumstances that faced everyone? Transparent and open communication can help build trust and provide you with valuable insights into changes or potential collaborations. So communication again, which follows when I use word share your challenges, collaborate and communicate. The third word I want to use here is knowledge. Keep yourself updated with the latest economic trends, market conditions, and industry news. Now, let me go to the economic trends. Right now, Nigeria is faced with a certain situation whereby there's a new government in place, and a new government is taking decisions to change the narrative. We have inflation facing us. We have FX policies going up and down. We are not sure where it's going to go. We have the subsidy that has come in. Our prices are going to go up. How do you then adjust? What I can tell you right now is that your disposable income is going to reduce. That's a fact. So what do you then do? What do you plan with? Are you going to carry on spending the way you spend? But what I also know as a fact is that unless there's a mismanagement of our economy, this situation will not last. So how do you start planning? What are you doing? What is the next person doing? Because you still have to continue living. So keep yourself updated, understand what is going on, speak to your financial people, your banks, insurance. What should you be doing for tomorrow? Stay connected with reliable sources of information to understand the potential impact on your business or your personal finances. In times of uncertainty, one does not retreat. Again, I use the example of the Kwara women, the MCs. At that particular point, you don't get confused that NEPA has gone. You don't retreat. It is time to reflect and adapt to the changes immediately. Secondly, examine your vulnerability. This is what we should all be doing at times like this. Where are your weak points? Where am I weak? A lot of us immediately say we should start saving, putting money away. But at the same time, the financial advisor say, as you are keeping the money away, the money must be working for you. Where do you put this money? That's where you get your financial advisor speaking to you. But examine your vulnerability. How much have I saved for tomorrow? How much investment in assets have I kept for tomorrow? Identify areas of vulnerability and develop strategies to mitigate those risks. So what are we saying? Once you understand your vulnerability areas, so what is a vulnerability area? Let me use a simple example. If, for instance, we're planning this event here, I expect the managers of this place to know that the client for this hall today will need 24 hours backup. They will need a generator that is on standby and ready to back up power, or even put the generator on for the period that we're here. For that, they need two things. They need to make sure that there is diesel. The second thing they need to make sure is that they have a technician on ground, that if this generator breaks down, there is no break in the provision of power to us. Because if that's not there, and so what happened today, or just a few minutes ago happened, power would not have come back. It took them 5 minutes to get to that generator to switch it on. My guess is whoever switches on that generator was far away somewhere and did not realize that power has gone. So for us, protecting or examining our vulnerability remains very key. How much cash do you have? How much liquidity do you have at your disposal? So the liquidity means that your asset hierarchy should simply be, number one, how much cash do I need maybe for the next 2 months? Number two, if things like COVID happens to me, how much liquid cash, how much assets can I send to liquidity within 3 months? Because you shouldn't keep all your investments in cash. Establish monitoring system to stay updated on emerging risks and adapt your plans. So your planning gives you flexibility. It simply means I am prepared. If this happens, I can move. A lot of people say, if anything happens in Nigeria, can I take off? So you need your passports. You need your visas. But that's not what we're paying for, but it's planning. You must have those things in hand. So that's where the monitoring things, always be checking on your positions. Again, the courage, and I stress this word courage, the courage to reassess and replan is what one needs at such times accordingly. I've just read this. I have 2 minutes. I will speed through everything. Now, I want to stress the word courage, because you need a certain level of courage to be able to do what is being said here. We need, okay, this is here, actions. I'll say this quickly. Bets, no regret moves, options, hedges, and big bets. You need courage to be able to take those actions. Without courage, you cannot make a move. That's why I said before, the ability to lead and make decisions. That is what everybody needs here. Quickly ensuring the process. So we understand that a process needs to happen to manage this uncertainty. This is the hardest truth, maintaining financial discipline. The word I'm stressing again is discipline, not the financial side. It's the discipline. This is the hardest truth and probably the most difficult. I read somewhere that if you do not sacrifice for tomorrow, then tomorrow will be the sacrifice. You would have nothing. During uncertain times, it is crucial to maintain financial discipline. Keep a close eye on your cash flow, budgeting, and expenses. Identify areas to reduce cost. This is common knowledge. Everybody knows this. We are faced with the high cost of fuel now. But then what do? We all know that either we cut where we go to, or we change our means of traveling, or what we always do. But something has to happen. That discipline to make sure that we can change our current expenditure must come in. And that's why I say discipline. Discipline, courage, and decision. These are the key words that we must do. It's simple. We all know what to do. But without that discipline, we cannot implement anything. You must be long-term minded. Remember, you will need a certain kind of boldness to make this work for you. Maintain a long-term perspective. Whilst it's important to be responsive to short-term challenges, again, each problem is short-term. COVID itself took a year. It was not forever. But it changed everything, perspective. It changed the complete perspective. It changed preparedness of everything we're doing. Economic uncertainties are typically cyclical, and focusing on your long-term goals can help you weather the storm and come out stronger on the other side. So inevitably, whatever decision you're taking, whatever bets you're going to make must always have a long-term view, because the race is a long-term one. It's not that I will change for tomorrow and I'm going to change just to plan for the next 1 week. I must have the flexibility and liquidity that takes me on the long stretch, but prepares me for any storm that comes in. That is why the insurance companies are there. That's why they make their own business. They are betting that something will go wrong, but they're betting that it doesn't go wrong. And you are hedging that if it goes wrong, I am prepared. That's why you need the insurance company. Today, we are faced as professionals, as estate surveyors and valuers, we are faced with dwindling briefs, high inflation, and very low productivity in an environment of very high operational inefficiency. What can we do? And I'm closing now, so my last few sentences. My immediate word here is to understand what operational inefficiency is. For all of us, we are faced with operational inefficiency. It costs us so much to carry out our daily tasks, paying salaries, running power, getting to the place of work. An example is somebody calls you today, in today's climate, to come and do inspection. Come from, let's say from VI, you go all the way to Ekpe to do an inspection. He's not guaranteeing you that he's going to do any transaction with you. You come back and he tells you, can we go and have another look? In this climate of 500 naira per liter, you have to ask yourself, either you decide you will pay me to come and see this inspection, or you give me certain guarantees of coming. But then we may lose that instruction. So what do? We must begin to think of how we adapt to such challenges in the current climate. But what am I offering? Do not panic. That's the first thing. Do not panic. Seek collaborations. For the example I just gave, if I have somebody in Ekpe, I will call him now and say, I have a client who is in Ekpe. And speaking about that, I have a brief in Kwara that I need somebody in Kwara to help me on. So if there's anyone that's good in agency, let's speak after this, because I'm not coming again to Ilorin for another inspection. Look to your core competence. Whatever you are good in is what you should flash at this time. What is my best attribute? Bring this out and begin to work on this. Be frugal. Be frugal is the financial discipline I'm talking about. At times like this, you make sure that you only work with what you need to work with. Make long-term plans. Plan for the future now and create a pension. And final word, a stitch in time will save 9. Thank you very much.
Woo, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Round of applause. Thank you very much. Wonderful lecture. I learned a lot, and I believe you also learned a lot, and there will be questions and answers, after the session. So for the next lecture, which is lecture 2, we'll be calling up on stage ESV Akin Okpatola. Please put your hands together for him. Yes. And the topic is going to be lecturing us on is shaping the future of our practice in this economic dispensation. Shaping the future of our practice in this economic dispensation. For the citation, I'm going to be calling not a person, but ESV Afsat Adedeji, as she comes up for the citation. Please put your hands together for ESV Adedeji.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
The first vice ESV Victor Alunge. Let me put it. Thank you. The second vice ESV Baturi Ali Mohammed. The national coordinator ESV Bridget Ndale Anyofulu. Other national executives observe. The state chairman ESV Olaleko Yedekpo. The state coordinator ESV Grace Giwa. All other protocols duly observed. I'm here to speak about our speaker for the second topic, ESV Akin Okpatola. He is an estate surveyor and valuer and the director of origination and brokerage at Olawale Jordan Company. Mandates include client representation, consulting and advisory services, and CRE strategy. He is an alumnus of Federal University of Technology, Minna, Niger State. He has over 11 years of experience in the Nigerian financial services industry with Polaris Bank and Access Bank PLC, where he rose to become the business manager of Kirikiri Apapa branch. His previous role was as the COO of Brokerfield Real Estate Services Limited, where he specialized in property brokerage, property management, and assets valuation. Akin lectures real estate marketing at Lead City University, Ibadan. He also lectures budding estate agents on the fundamentals of real estate agency at the School of Estate, Ikeja, Lagos. He is an associate member of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, member of the International Real Estate Federation, FEAPSI, and the current vice president of the Nigerian chapter, a member of the African Real Estate Society, AFRES. He is also an accredited RICS UK commercial mediator, a fellow of the Certified Institute of Auctioneers Nigeria, a member of the Urban Land Institute, United Kingdom, a member of the Nigeria Economic Summit Group, fellow Institute of Management Consultants of Nigeria, an alumnus of the Lagos Business School, LBS, the current editor for the Niesv Lagos State Branch magazine, He is a member of the Institute of Directors of Nigeria. And lastly, he is a fellow of the Certified Institute of Auctioneers of Nigeria. Akin has a great passion for real estate and was elected in 2021 as one of the 3 vice presidents of World Council of Managers at the International Real Estate Federation, FIABC Paris. He is a director of Gradient Partners Limited, an alternative asset management company based in Lagos. I present to you ESV Akin Okpatola. You're welcome, sir.
Wow. Beautiful.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so happy and glad and appreciate this opportunity. So I understand I have 2 hours to give this presentation. Sorry, 3 hours? Okay, so I will run through, I have 15 slides.
Minutes.
I will run through everything within 15 minutes so that we can now share experiences, take questions and answers. So let me start by sharing an experience. When Mrs. Bridget called me last week to give this presentation, interestingly, I was out of the country. I was attending an international real estate conference. And ironically, I was having lunch with an interesting gentleman. So I said, let me start my presentation with that story. So the gentleman is called Sean Killer. We are age mates. He's about 43 years old. He's based out of South Africa. He's an architect and a professional to the core. So I'm sure you guys would have heard of probably one of the most expensive, probably the best museum in the world. It's called Museum of the Future and is based in Dubai. So Sean Killer is the architect and developer of that museum. And that got me thinking that, ladies and gentlemen, estate surveyors and valuers in the room, professionals, I like to use the terminology, professionals and consultants, we need to be very mindful of our practice. We need to be very mindful of our brand and our business. We need to be able to think to the next level. Sean Killer would have never thought there are several top architectural firms. He was based out of South Africa. Who would have thought he would have been able to design that kind of building? Interestingly, he has about 12, 13 projects within the Emirates that he's doing. The project cost is about $250 million. So I just want us to put that in context to say that, look, no matter where our business or practice is, if you're based out of Ilorin, you're based out of Abuja, Lagos, Sokoto, the most important thing is the professionalism. Those things that we need to put in place. And you know, if you're good, if you add value, if you're a solution provider, there is no doubt, no matter where you want to hide, a shining star has no place to be hidden, and you'll definitely be brought out. So quickly, what I'll be speaking about today is how we can get new customers, how we can make money, and how we can stand out from the crowd. You know, interestingly, when I was in school, I was never taught business development, how to get clients. I was never taught that. We were taught every other thing. So there are a couple of things I had to put in place. My slides will try to speak to that, how we can brand ourselves, how we can package ourselves differently. So one of those things will be, and I feel that that is a mistake that we all make. I used to make that mistake too in time past. So there's a difference between branding and packaging and marketing of professional consulting practice and when you market our products. So that's the difference between tangible and intangible. So when you're talking about packaging and branding ourselves, our professional practice, which is very key to take us to the next level. We're talking about things like our reputation. We're talking about things like referrals. We're talking about things like talent management, your strategy. But when we're talking about our products, we're talking off the cuff, the features, the specifications, those things that you can almost touch. So those things go hand in hand, and we need to learn very quickly how we can package ourselves to the next level. This slide here speaks to the typical role. I believe that most of us here are running our own practice. So the number one job of a CEO, of a principal partner, is to bring in business and to drive strategic direction for the team and for the firm. Next slide, please. So I'm going to share my slides, so we don't need to go through this. Galloping inflation, I think now figures as at May is over 22.4%. Next slide, please. We have the top 10 sectors contributing to our economy in 2022. Next slide, please. So I have good news and bad news for everyone. So every one of us, professional consultants, estate surveyors in the room today, we can easily divide ourselves into these 4 quadrants. So I want us to run away from being predator. Parasite is the 3rd worst. We should look at being partners. Partners in where high competence, high value, high skill, a lot of solution to our clients. And we should also be very warmth. You know, to be able to get clients these days is all about trust. If your client trusts you, half of your job is already done. So partner is the quadrant that we should all strive to be and look at, followed by being a pet. But predator and parasites are the ones we should run away from. Next slide, please. So interestingly, this is the latest edition of the Harvard Business Review, and I thought it was wise to also share this slide. I have this copy in my hotel room, and it just speaks to the way that we as professionals should be able to brand ourselves and our practice. There's an amazing book I would also like to recommend. It's called The Purple Cow by one of my favorite authors called Seth Godin. I recommend every one of you to get that book. It speaks to the fact that we need to be remarkable. We need to be able to brand ourselves, our business, our professional services. Because if you are remarkable, you will be remembered. We have maybe 5,000, 6,000 of our colleagues here all doing this relatively the same thing. If you're not remarkable, if you don't stand out in any way, you will just be the same. So that's what gave the author Seth Godin the idea behind the book. He was traveling on the Scottish country field with his family. And he said, look, if he sees cows or goats or rams, you know, typically they are white, black, gray in color. But he thought to himself, hey, wait a minute, if I see a cow that is brown, no, that is yellow in color, that is green, that is purple in color, you guys, your guess is as good as mine. You will stop, you will shout, you will take a selfie, you will shout, this is Ogbanje, this is Mami Water, what is going on here? So we should also be like the proverbial yellow, green, purple cow, so that we are remarkable. When you're remarkable, people speak about you and you are remembered, and you can easily get those referrals. Your reputation is also there. Next slide. This speaks to branding. You know, when you brand yourselves, we all know, and you know, that is what is making this current dispensation quite challenging, because we're not just competing amongst ourselves. Oh no, I tell people, no, we're competing amongst the 20, 30 global international real estate firms that are here playing and competing with our clients. So we have the likes of the Brawl, we have the GLLs, we have the Cushman and Wakefield, we have the Knight Frank that is over 125 years old. Those are our true competition, because the clients will benchmark and say, hey, Aki, why did you promise to call me back in 2 hours and this is 2 days later, you haven't? Because clients will always look at the value, they will also look at their expectation, and they always want that to be met, irrespective. So a lot of our businesses are going to those international players. Next slide, please. So this speaks to Nigerian companies with the highest revenue. I would like us, you know, there's a saying that, look, if you go for the sun and you miss it, you probably land with the moon. You miss the moon, you probably land with the stars. These are top companies that we should send proposals to, go out, reach out. These are companies that are doing very well despite of these challenging economy or dispensation. I wonder who the estate surveyors giving professional services to these top firms. Next slide, please. This is also food for thought. These are most valuable fintechs in Africa. Interestingly, 5 of them are within Nigeria. So these are where we should be playing. They would definitely need our consultancy and professional services. Next slide, please. So these are a couple of things I want to mention why, there's a new buzzword out there. If you look at Uber, Airbnb, Amazon, Netflix, TV, movie streaming, they don't have any movies. Airbnb, no hotels. The real estate world is changing, ladies and gentlemen. There's a buzzword now, real estate as a service. So real estate consultants, they've put on their thinking caps. It's no more about the product, but about the service. So that is one thing that we need to put into the back of our minds. These days, there are a lot of opportunities. There's globalization, there's AI, there's increased competition even amongst our peers. Next slide, please. So this one is very interesting. There's a competition going on in Saudi Arabia, and they're looking for professionals. Just like I mentioned, the killer architect based out of South Africa. So they're looking for real estate consultants to also pitch. And I was thinking to myself, how many of us in our practice, we've been able to provide world-class professional services for us to be able to send in interesting and well-packaged proposals to a country that would need our services. So that is food for thought. Next slide. These are opportunities within the Lagos market for we consultants to be able to think about. Next slide, and this will be my last slide as I close. The future belongs to the competent. We should get good, we should get better, and we should be the best. Thank you very much. Next slide. And Fiapsi, we have a stand outside. We want everybody to join the Professional Real Estate Network. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Please, we don't have time again. It's already time. Another program is coming up, but we need just too few questions on this managing in uncertainty and shaping the future of our practice in this economic dispensation.
Okay.
Any question you have on any of them, please ask. And they are here. I told you they are loaded.
Please, if you have any question, just raise your hand.
We didn't tell them before that it's just 15 minutes that and they use 15 minutes just to deliver. So please,
if you have any question, just raise your hand. We'll get to you.
Or if you need any clarity, on any of them.
Sorry, ma, please, you mentioned the speaker. You are directing the questions. Okay.
My name is Niesv Yegunike. My question is to the Lagos State chairman. You mentioned collaboration. Yeah, collaboration. Maybe he needs to explain further what that means among estate surveyors and valuers.
Thank you, ma. Okay. Okay, we are asked to take all the questions before we proceed to the. So if you have any question, please raise your hand. We'll get to you. Questions. Nobody, no hand again. Thanks, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Managing uncertainty.
Who has a question? Okay. So collaboration is indeed the buzzword now. So you have to collaborate with anyone that is of value to you. But let me go to estate surveyors and valuers. Collaboration amongst ourselves simply means that, for instance, interstate, intercompetent, if I'm not very good at valuation, I can't get, somebody's requiring evaluation to be done, but I don't have that competency and capacity. I would look for a colleague. You know how to do this. It is what increases our capacity. So the word collaboration means that share your opportunity to reduce your risk with other people. That's what it is. So either interstate or across competencies. Thank you.
That's very nice. Thank you, sir. Very, very clear now. On that note, no more question. We are calling on our own very coordinator, the ESV Deaconess Giwa to come and give vote of thanks. You have so many people to thank, people that made this occasion to be successful. Please, you are the right
welcome
person. We are welcoming you.
Let's welcome you.
Welcome you. Clapping ovation, please. God bless you, man.
Thank you. Permit me stand on existing protocol. Thank you, our lecturers, for the beautiful lecture. I know God bless you. I want to call upon our first vice president to present our gifts, the plaque, to our first speaker, that's ESV Olubenga Ishmael.
Yes, on behalf of the Women Wing, it's my pleasure to present this award of excellence to ESV Olubenga Ismail as speaker at this Women Wing organized program. Thank you so much, Benga, for that beautiful presentation. The women appreciate you, and I know you love women anyway.
Yes, sir. You are done, sir. Thank you. Now, I'll now call the second vice president to help me present to our lecturer, ESV Akin Opatala.
Award of excellence is excellently given to you. We appreciate your very, very knowledgeable lecture. So on behalf of the Nigerian Estate Surveyors and Valuers Women Wing, I congratulate you as one of the greatest speakers of this event.
Thank you, sir.
The president is coming, that we shouldn't go. So what will we do? Let me go ahead. Okay. I shouldn't do the vote. Yes, sir.
My distinguished noble colleagues, the Women Wing, and everybody here, please and please, I want to solicit for your indulgence. The president is on his way coming right away. And he wants to come and say one or two words to you people. He has called earlier and they are about reaching here. And the governor too might make a stopover in the hall. So please and please, we want you to be around. Please, please.
Thank you. Before we go to the questioning, if you have questions, you can write it. Then you bring it forward and it will be answered. I want to use this opportunity to thank our sponsors for the program. We want to appreciate ESV Charles Ebia, Senator Lola Ashiru, ESV Abdulmumin Abdulkarim, ESV Bature, ESV Tobai Fabi, Lawyer Olatoke, Omogbola Ahmed, ESV Adebowale Adejumo, Alaji Eyisone, Alaji Muriadi, ESV Abdulkarim Suleiman, ESV Shahid Baba, ESV Abaton Waliu Adeshino, ESV Toyin Jimo, Engineer Mo, Mark Odudu Anko, ESV Adeshida Adewale Adeshino, ESV Tope Ojo. we want to appreciate all our sponsors. The MC, you can come forward to take the questions.
More questions? Thank you for that vote of thanks. Our coordinator, Kwara branch, female coordinator, Kwara branch. More questions? The president is coming. And thank you, sir. We are not closing. The president has spoken that he's coming. If the president said we should stay here till midnight, we are going to stay. We are going to obey. The president is coming, so please relax yourself. Relax yourself. The first vice president said that Kwara branch item is very, very beautiful. Now we should come and render it again. Waiting for it. Please, all the Kwara ESV come out. Group picture.
All the women.
Okay.
Sorry, please. Don't go yet, please.
So what? President is
again. Please don't be in a hurry to go. We are going to have a group photograph. All the women that are here today, please don't be left out. We're going to have a group photograph. Please don't be in a hurry to go.
Kwara choir, we asked you to come. We wanted to give you money. Oh. If you perform, we'll give you money. Hey, come out. Hey, come out. Go on, entertain.
Mr. Larry, where are you? Yes, where are you? Please come outside. He has a kafila. He hasn't seen me yet. Please, we are waiting for you. Yes, we don't Kang. Where are you? Please come out. There's no time. No, Mama. Mama, where are you? Mama. Okay. No, we will perform, sir. We will. Mama.
We have tested some veils, some
Where are you? We need attention here.
We are great. We have tested some veils, some we are great. We are great. We are tested, so there's balance. We are great. We are tested, so we'll survive. We are great. We are great. We are tested, so we'll survive. We are great.
Well done, well done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Where's the president? Okay, take it.
Hello, Mohammed. Abuja, I did Ilorin. I think for conference.
We are great. We are great. We are tested, so there's balance. We are great. We are tested, so we'll survive. We are great. We are we are tested, so there's survive. We are great. We are tested, so we'll survive. We are great. We are great. We are tested, so there's survive.
Let's be seated. The president wants to speak with us. Okay. Please, let's be seated. Our own president wants to speak with us. Let's be seated.
Noble colleagues, noble colleagues, I'm sending it to that man.
the first vice president, the second vice president, the honorary national secretary, the honorary treasurer, the HMPS, all other management committee members, council members, noble colleagues. I am extremely excited with what I am seeing this evening or this afternoon. It shows our women are more than capable. It shows our women will always be there for us. It shows our women will always project us very well. Our women, thank you so much. Clap for yourselves now. I'm sure you had a very good function today. And the conference started yesterday. This is the second day. We thank God that our first vice is finally here with us today. And you know what we agreed yesterday. Oh. You know what we agreed, though. Second vice, you were there now. Thank you so much. I want to appreciate all of us. I want to appreciate our women. What people are doing is wonderful, is great. And I want to plead with all of us that this conference, by the grace of God, will be a huge, huge success. We were supposed to be having council meeting now, but we got information that the governor will be passing by just to come and look at us, look at what is happening here. We understood that he may not be available on Thursday because of the big visitation to Nigeria. However, we were with the deputy governor yesterday. In fact, he was very categorical that he will be with us on Thursday. And we're also expecting other guests. And by the grace of God, all of them will be present on that Thursday, by the grace of God. Noble colleagues, I want to thank all of us, and I want to say that this year conference tagged asset valuation as global anti-corruption, the Nigerian experience has come to stay. And I just want to enjoin all of us to please make sure don't go too far, take care of each other, and virtually all of us have our numbers. You have my number, you have the first vice, you have the second vice, you have the HNS, the HMPS. If you have any issues, just call any of us. All the management staff, committee members, we have resolved that we are available. We will answer any call, anytime. So I want to thank you. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy this conference. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, our wonderful president. Thank you so much for that speech. Thank you so much for assuring us that you are available anytime, anywhere. We are calling on Afilat to give us a closing prayer. Give us a closing prayer.
Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin. We give glory and adoration to Almighty Allah, the Lord of the worlds. He alone do we worship, and He alone do we seek for help. We thank Him for guiding us to the right path. We started this Women's Week program with His name, and we end it successfully by His name. In Allah's Almighty Allah, we pray. Amin. Bijai Fatiha. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina shiratal mustaqim. Shiratal ladzina an'amta alaihim. Ghairil maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Amin.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that wonderful prayer. To this, we've come to the end of this women program. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are so happy. Thank you. Thank you, our president. Thank you, the vice. Thank you for your gifts.
Thank you so much. Abidjan will love you. Bayelsa will love you. Port Harcourt will love you. Everywhere, from everywhere. Everywhere. We love you. Thank you. And we'll appreciate if we can have photographs with the old women. Oh, yeah, we appreciate you. Thank you. Thanks. You're wonderful. Lagos, thank you for coming. Thank you. We appreciate you. You're wonderful women. Oh, sure. Sure. Thank you for coming. You're wonderful. You're adorable. I blow you kisses. Mwah. Okay, group photographs of all women outside. Outside, okay. All right. So please, that's how we are going to be having group pictures, group photographs with all women outside.
President and
With the president and national schools. Okay. It's better that way. Yes, we are done with the program. We are done.
We are great. We are great. We are tested, so build some value. We are great. We are great. We are tested, so there's some value.
Well, we would love to have pictures with you. We would love to have pictures with you outside. Please. Please. Yes, we have to.
hello everyone, please we would like to have a group photograph of all women with the national escort right outside now, please. Get outside. Please group photograph outside all women with the national escort.
We are great. We are estates of bills and value. We are great. We are great. We are estates of bills and value.
The president is moving on. Roger, please. Thank you. Okay.
We are great. We are estates of bills and value. We are great.
Yes.
We are estates of bills and value. We are great. We are tested, so veils the value. We are great. We are great. We are tested, so there's value.